another NBA Hall of Famer, one of my favorite players, the truth, Paul Pierce, all-time Celtic great, and again, Hall of Famer, one of the top 10, I'd say, small forwards who ever played, is a guy who has had a lot of interesting things to say since he's been retired and gotten into the media space. And some of the things he says, I think he understands the media game. I do, because I don't believe he's that dumb with some of the things that he says. Paul Pierce says a lot of interesting things, and this is kind of what stoked my interest in this topic. Is recently he was on a podcast with Danny Green, and I don't know who the other guy was, but he was on a podcast with Danny Green, and he said something that blew me away, and I'm like, oh no, we got to talk about this. So here's the clip, and we will go from there. We'll come back and we'll break it down.
So Jordan had no bag?
I didn't say no bag. I just don't think
Kobe and Jordan are bad guys.
1-2 dribble pull-ups.
Kobe had
no bag.
Kobe had unbelievable footwork too, like different.
Like what's all right? What do we define as a bag? First of all, just handles to the shot.
I think to me,
like wow, then get
not
it
just
off.
handles, but you have a plethora of moves in your bag.
Yeah, the defense does this.
They don't know. You're not predictable.
Yes.
All right, so let's stop here. So first and foremost, right? What is this obsession lately with bag, right? Like everybody back in the day, everybody wanted to have skills. And believe it or not, people really did skill work back then, right? But it was different the way the defense was played, you know, with the hand checking and all that. And two, our coaches did not allow us to do that. But if we go to the park, we go out to Rucker, you will see us doing all of that, right? So this weird obsession nowadays with bag, I think is very strange. It almost leads to inefficiency. Go ahead, Sneed.
The refs actually called violations for traveling and double dribbles and bad footwork. And see what they call like 2.5 steps, 3 steps. Those were called infractions. Those were called violations. They resulted in turnovers, and players were taken out of games for excessive travels when they took 2.5 steps. Like that. Like remember the LeBron crab dribble conspiracy back in like the 2000s? Yeah. Like eventually the NBA just conceded. They're just like, all right, they're gonna do this, so stop calling it. It's disrupting the flow of the game. So you know,
the first time I remember a Euro step being done in the NBA that I can recollect, David Robinson, he played on the Olympic team in '88 in Seoul. I think they came home with a bronze. He came back obviously from international play, and he did the Euro step in an NBA game and got called for a travel, and it really wasn't because he did it 1-2 layup, right? And he got called for it. And it actually was a bad call. But the point is, back then, officials were very strict on what was traveling, what was palming, what was, you know, now that back then there was no gather step. They actually put that into the rule, which, you know, that's another thing I've talked about, gives guys another added advantage. They don't call the carries now. They don't call the travels and so on and so forth. But so this bag thing is really kind of weird to me. But let's continue with the clip from the podcast.
Real quick, Bruce, before you hit play. Paul Pierce just questioned a 2 dribble pull up. What the hell's wrong with not having to dribble it 1,000 times?
I don't know. And
that shit is crazy to me.
Yeah, we'll definitely get there. But yeah, that is efficiency, right? Getting to what you got to do with the least amount of work possible. Not necessarily just people have this mindset efficiency is just field goal percentage. No, it's not just that. It's getting to things quickly and without play. Like
field goal percentage is a function of how close the defender is to you and how close you are to the hoop.
Generally, yeah. But think about it. The coaches were coaching back then. Don't play with the ball because these defenders, 1, will take it from you. 2, that takes up time in the shot clock. Why are you playing with the ball? Make your move and go, right? So all this bag stuff is like really unnecessary in most cases. But let's get back to the clip.
You have multiple answers to the test.
You have counters.
To me, that's a bag.
I think they had the capability, but they didn't have to counter because Mike was
1-2 dribble pull-ups.
You're not stopping him to get to a spot, and he's athletic enough to jump and shoot over you.
Y'all agree
give you a shoulder bump.
Say Mike had a limited bag.
Mike had limited bag.
I don't agree. I just don't think he had to use his bag.
You guys are crazy.
He didn't need to do all that fancy shit.
Exactly, Paul Pierce. So he didn't need to do all that. Doesn't mean he couldn't, because we can go back. First of all, that same limited bag, Paul Pierce couldn't guard Michael Jordan. Remember, Paul Pierce was a rookie when Michael Jordan was finishing up the second three-peat. And Paul Pierce was like getting into his prime as an elite NBA player at the small forward position when Michael Jordan was in Washington. And I watched like a highlight package earlier tonight. I would have cut it and showed it here, but the resolution wasn't quite great. But a highlight package. This is Jordan, Wizards Michael Jordan, playing against Boston Celtics Paul Pierce. So this is 02. And Paul Pierce had like 16 and Mike gave him 32. And he was like primary defender. And Mike was like, okay, 1-2 dribble. Bang, got you, right? And even still, we can go back and watch highlights of Michael Jordan doing the fancy dribbles. We can watch highlights of Michael Jordan in the post, up fake, up and under, step through. Like he had all of that stuff. He just didn't normally need that. So, well, let's continue.
He was right to the business. Bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like Shea got more of a bag though. Shea usually gets to his, he can get to his spot.
Bro,
but Mike had a bag but didn't have to use it.
So impeccable.
Kobe's footwork, I think, was better. I think Mike
Kobe had better footwork than Mike?
I think Kobe.
Oh no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I rewatched.
I think it's just in advance. Like Kobe had to. He had to play against better. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike didn't have to do as much as pivot, left hand off the backboard.
Doing the Mike played against mechanics thing right now?
I'm not saying Kobe's a better player. I'm just saying footwork wise, I think Kobe had to evolve his footwork because he's playing against better talent. Like
Mike had limited bag, dog.
Did Paul Pierce have a bag? Because to me, like, what is this guy's game besides a bag?
I think they had the capability. Like
many moves to get by guys.
Mike had a bag. He didn't have to use it. Kobe had a bag. He used it a little more than Mike. I think he was capable of using different moves. He didn't have to. Like bigger guards use bump. They know how to get to their spot.
So let me say this with the Kobe and Mike thing, right? Kobe's footwork was absolutely insane. Mike's footwork was insane too. I think maybe the difference is that Kobe didn't have quite the level of explosive athleticism that Michael Jordan had in terms of being able to blow by you left hand, right hand, whichever, get you off balance and go, right? And that was part of what made it look so easy for Michael Jordan. And then again, we heard Kenny Smith, who played with Michael Jordan in college, say Michael Jordan is the most fundamentally sound player we've ever seen. Like, so you combine that with the freak level athleticism, the 45-inch vert and the 4.3 40 time and, the explosiveness off the dribble and the gigantic freak hands like Kawhi Leonard, like what do you do there with that? You know what I'm saying? So maybe he didn't need to do all that stuff, but he could.
But it's not. But it's not true. He did everything all the time.
For sure.
I remember. This is all in the same game. You would watch a full game from Michael. He would start with very slow, methodical, face to the basket. Defender is locked in, and he would fake one side, go to the other, and he would get an unchallenged layup or dunk. Now the guy's got to play closer, because he just blew by him because he gave him too much space. He bit on the fix, so now he gets closer. Now MJ, what does he do? He takes him into the post. He can pass out of a double team.
Yeah.
MJ could score off of a spin move. You saw what he did. That was nasty in New York.
Oh, for sure.
That's against the best defense in the NBA. What do you mean there's no bag? The things that people say, bro, because they're so bored and need to just say something.
Yeah.
Bro, this is all can be verified.
Yeah.
The film is there. Just watch a full game. He had a mid-range jump shot. He had several moves out of the post. Either side didn't matter. I saw him use the backboard. Both sides did not matter. I saw MJ making free throws with his eyes closed.
Right.
I saw MJ making passes out of the triangle. I saw him making passes as a point guard. See, people don't want to talk about pre-1990 Jordan.
We don't.
When he was running the point. See, they don't want to talk about that when he was averaging 8, 9, 10 assists a game. They don't want to talk about that, bro.
No, why would they?
Yeah. So, but like the bag was immense. Kobe's bag was immense too. Kobe's footwork may have been slightly better, but let me ask you something, Bruce. Could you see the difference between a 98 and a 97? Bag, if that was the rating system? Could you tell the difference between a 98 and a 97?
It's tough.
See, this is what we're talking about, nuance. See, we're making subjective statements about a bag when we can't even define what it is.
Right.
So in my perspective, have not, want not, Michael Jordan had no weakness that you could go into a game and say, I'm exploiting this today.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Yeah. Well, like I said, my frustration is that who it's coming from. Like, this is Paul Pierce. You defended Michael Jordan. You defended Michael Jordan at the back.
Bruce, they're not. They're liars. They're liars. They're saying anything. This is all for buzz and clicks.
It is.
They literally don't mean what they're saying. They don't even know what they're saying. They're just saying it because the shit sounds good to them. Like you heard what D Wade said last week. We don't even know what he was talking about. He's just saying anything. Or anybody who objectively watches the game can say, okay, I'm going to write down 20 things about Michael's game today. Just pick any game. Write down the 20 things that you see, and you're going to say, all this is high level.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, that's
they're liars. They're liars.
You know, it's disturbing. I was talking with Mandow Mel earlier in the week. Like, these people, like, I think it was a Nick Wright quote maybe, and I was like, these people say these things knowing that it's easily fact-checked. Why? Like, they will literally go on national TV knowing this stuff they say is easily fact-checked. That's kind of sad to me, but yes, it is.
And people say that LeBron has no bag. I hear people say that too. Go back and watch LeBron from 2016 to 2018 and tell me LeBron didn't have a bag. You will be eating your words.
So I don't think it's a function of LeBron has no bag. I think it's a function of LeBron's quote unquote bag in comparison.
No, people say he has no bag. You're talking, what you're saying is objectively factual. People say he has no bag, which is objectively false. 2018 Bron, bro, that offensive version of LeBron had the deepest bag in the league. Actually, 28, like, what are you going to say? Kevin Durant, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's him or Durant in 2018. That's it.
When those were the two. Win his chip. When he was
the following year.
Toronto, he was real serious too. Real serious. But I hear you. I hear you.
But then we found out the truth about Kawhi, didn't we? Right? Yeah, we found out. We thought it could have been, but then we found out the truth.
Yeah.